things are taken shape and how decisions are taken. CAG is saying that something, there is a corruption, there is inflated price, this and that. Supreme Court also has passed strictures or passed certain things, made every Indian restless. Now after this government came into power, immediately sticking to transparency, commitment for the transparency. Availability of the government for the public scrutiny. We will go for auctions. Taking the advantage of the situation that Supreme Court had cancelled the allocation, so there's a difficult situation. A difficult situation for the economy. So this government had taken the advantage of that. Then we had decided to go for the auction, the coal block allocation. Now the spectrum allocation. So you have to understand, there is a public opinion in favor of the transparency. If you decipher the mandate of the NDA government and the BJP government under the leadership of Modi, you have to understand there is a very explicit expectation of the people that this is not a secret thing. If you can very easily decipher the mandate. If you read the mandate, you will come to know that public want transparency and public want the government's commitment for the public scrutiny, subjecting oneself for the public scrutiny. So in this situation, going for the coal block allocation, going for the spectrum auction, all these things, now you can understand this leadership is not going to entertain any kind of doubtful situations. People may have suspicions, or people may be suspecting the government and intentions of the leadership. This is not going to happen with this government. So this is the background. Now in this situation, now the main important core, if you see, what is the expectation of the people? During election campaign, what is the issue? What was the issue which was discussed hotly and intensively and extensively all over the country, deep and wide? So in this revival of economy, is the main important thing. Economy is down, negative situation in industry, in agriculture, everywhere, wherever employment generation is taking place, there the whole thing is. So if anything was discussed, only it was the Manrega which was discussed as the employment revenue. So in this situation, government has taken up in this budget this revival of economy as the core component. Unless you revive the economy, no, it is a $2.1 trillion economy, Indian economy today. And by 2020, we want to emerge as the third country, or after America and China. There is a shift taking place towards Asia in the last few years. Now, no more Europe is going to dominate the economic situation in coming years. So India is emerging as the biggest economic bloc, and that shift is perceptible and visible. In such a situation, now in order to emerge and occupy that position, in order to defend our own interests, futuristic interests. When I say futuristic interests, that may be a security interest, that may be an employment interest, because you need to create a lot of employment in this country. The kind of labor force which is available in this country, the kind of addition accruing every year to the labor force. We all know, we call this country as a young people, country of young people. The average age is, India's average age is 28, 29. And average age of America is 38 and average age of Japan is 48, 49. So employment generation is going to be the biggest challenge for any government and any leadership in coming years. So in order to meet the food security, in order to meet the defense security needs, in order to meet the employment generation, now the growth of economy at the rate of 10%, 12% for a decade is essential. I am not going to discuss about the whether you have today 7.4 because of the computation changes, the base year is changed from 2004-5 to 2011-12, all these things you keep it up. But increasing GDP and having the higher trajectory of growth for a decade, around 10%, 11%, 12% is essential. Political class cannot afford to ignore this important thing. So in this situation, and you need to also, saving rate has come down. The background we have to understand that now we have come down to saving rate to the GDP is at 29%. Now again taking back to 36%. Relying upon the foreign capital excessively may not be possible for this economy. It does not mean that I am personally against the foreign capital or not. Per se, it is not the issue. The issue is, for the size of Indian economy, the foreign capital will be always a supplementary thing. It cannot be the mainstay of Indian economy. So Indian savings is an important component. So 29% saving rate which has come down, so it has now to take it. We have to take it back to the 36%. And another important challenge for the economy is this incremental capital output ratio, which is normally in our economy we discuss it as 4:1. If you are able to remove the corruption and all other things and the other impediments or blocks, roadblocks for the industry, then we may be able to bring it down from 4% to 3%, 3:1. So that the growth rate we want to achieve 10%, 12%, we will be able to achieve 3 means or 4 means. Then if you need to achieve 10% growth rate, we need to have the 40% saving rate. If we have the 4. If we are able to reduce it to 3, then we need to have 30%. So like that, by reducing the incremental capital output ratio, by doing away with this impediments and roadblocks and also the corrupt practices, so by bringing transparency we may be able to achieve that. So in this background, when the people have a lot of expectations from this government, it is a hyper expectations. Maybe because of the single party majority, maybe because of the comfortable mandate whatever we have, maybe also because of the Honorable Prime Minister and his body language and his expressions. People have a lot of expectations. Irrespective of caste, creed and color, everybody has got a lot of expectations from this government and particularly this leadership. So in this, and ultimately we also have problems that you cannot immediately stimulate the economy, you cannot immediately create the capital. and restoring the confidence among the investors inside and outside. That will also has got a gestation period to get reflected in the growing manufacturing output or growing economy. So with this advantages and constraints, Honorable Finance Minister had presented the budget. In this, the important core issue is the revival of economy. In this, if you see, if this budget has to be discussed, a budget of whom, then I should call it as the budget of growth. This is definitely a budget for growth. If anybody has to analyze the budget, then definitely the growth component has to be analyzed. In this budget, 70,000 crores allocation for the infrastructure. Government has given lot of impetus. And not only that, in addition to that, 20,000 crores in the form of National Investment and Infrastructure Fund. By creating that, with this 20,000, if you go to the market and you leverage the market, you can do the business to the tune of 1 lakh to 1,20,000 crores. So this is the investment from the government for roads, for infrastructural projects. It is not that only private sector should come and invest and the industry will grow. No. Government had taken a conscious decision to kickstart the economy by injecting this kind of investments. This is the biggest boost. And focus on the agriculture credit. 8.5 lakh crores for the agriculture credit and other agriculture related, rural related infrastructure. So focus on infrastructure, focus on agriculture. Then accessing the markets, interest-free bonds, railway project or other projects. So this government in the first year of the budget, it has given attention or focus on the core important aspects which are helpful for the revival of industry and revival of the base economy, agriculture. This is the important thing which I would like to mention. Then, second important aspect, is here the people related to the finance and investment, they are more in numbers. I would like to take the issue related to that. No, the Mudra banking is the game-changing aspect in this budget. 20,000 crore is allotted for the Mudra, a refinance and regulatory agency which is newly created now. What is this Mudra? If you see after agriculture, which is the sector helping this economy, there is the service sector. Service sector growth is also very high. And the small people, small enterprises, whether they are in the industry or service or production or manufacturing, a small scale. Access to capital for the small people in this country is definitely not good. Banks have not created any kind of situation where, these people are helped by the banks. Service people. If you take the vegetable vendor, fruit vendor, or a tent house wala, or retail shop owner, small traders, vendors on the footpath, and going to the papad maker or pickle maker, you take all small people in this country. 50% and more than 50% of the value addition is taking place in this sector. And the employment is created by these people. Some people have called this as unincorporated sector. And we all know incorporated sector contribution in India in terms of employment is not very high. 4% or 5%, and public sector and private organized sector put together it will be 7%, 8%. So large scale employment is created in this area, and where the interest rates are abnormally high. In Hyderabad, if you go and ask any auto repairing person, or auto driver, auto owner, or a vegetable vendor, you ask what is the rate of interest. Sometimes it comes to 180%, 200%, 220%. They do not have the formal banking support for them. This is the government which has recognized this